We used to say, crackings no payings. You need to be old in order to have even heard that one. What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. My name is James. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so right now. Click on the bell icon to make sure that you're notified of every new video that I do. Today, I'm giving you business ideas that can make you rich. 5 good businesses. Let's get those credits rolling. Whenever you are beginning business, one of the things that you usually look at is how much money you will make at the end of the day. And for many of us, we want to make the most money in the least amount of time. So these are 5 ideas that I know that if you put them in practice, you can be able to pick one of them and use them and make some money. It will actually make you rich. The first business is welding. Now, in this country, people are buying land. I talked about land purchase, and you can look at that video here. It will appear somewhere here where I talked about 5 businesses, and land buying was one of them. So you can look at it up there. But something that is associated with land is building of houses, and every single house that is being built, there will be metal work that will be done. So the welding business actually corresponds to the house construction business. But here is where the welding business actually makes you. You have to look for a place where there is a growing population, where people are actually building houses. And there you now go to the construction areas, speak to the foreman, or if you're lucky, if you can find the project owner, and look for the job of actually doing the windows, the doors, the metal grills, and things like that. And then now you can get 4, 5, 6 in a particular location, and you do all that work. So that is how you can make money. You need a license, of course. You need to be a licensed person. That can cost you between 7,000 Kenya shillings to about 20,000, depending on the county where you'll be working from. Then you have a small enclosed area where you will have as your workshop, because you don't need a very big space in order to do the work. Because when you're working, one of the things that you need to do is have a place where you can place your equipment, or if you do not have a safe place, then you can actually be ferrying it from your house every single morning. But of course, that will be tedious after a while. Then you need somewhere where you can be storing the things that you haven't finished working on. So those are the things that you need to look at. You can have a small space. You don't need a very big space in order to do a welding business. But one thing you need to watch out for in the welding business is that you need to control the electricity that you use, because electricity is one of the biggest expenses that are there in that business. Additionally, you need to be very careful in the use of your equipment, because electricity is dangerous, and someone can also get hurt when you're cutting pieces of steel. So you need to be very safety conscious in order to be able to make that business succeed. You can make good markups of about 5,000 to 10,000 per door, per frame, per metal grill, depending on how you're pricing whatever you're providing for your customers. You also make sure that your customer service is good, because if you give a unique design to a particular customer, usually when people come to do housewarming for the house, they will ask, I like the way your doors are, I like your windows, and I want to build my own house. So who did your doors, who did your windows? And that can be a referral business that you can actually take care of. So the number 1 business that I want to talk about, that I've talked about. Business number 2 is yogurt. Food. I had to put one that had to do with food in the video. So number 2 is yogurt. And the reason I'm talking about yogurt and not milk is because once you do a process on a particular thing, then you make it more valuable. Look at it this way. If you right now pick a liter of milk and sell it raw, you'll probably do about 40 or 50 shillings if you're lucky on raw milk. But a quarter liter of yogurt is about 60 shillings. So if you have a liter of yogurt is 240, and a liter of raw milk is 40 shillings. Imagine 200 shillings difference between a liter of milk and a liter of yogurt. So that is where I'm coming from. Yogurt is a value addition on raw milk. So that's what you need to look at. The first thing that you need to do is do your research on yogurt, and the best place to go to is where you are right now on YouTube. Check for how to make yogurt. I'll place even a link below, and even some links for some other websites that you can go to and get recipes on how to do yogurts. They will be places where you can now use the information that you get there and make your own secret recipe, which you can now make your own brand of yogurt. The second thing that you need to do is buy equipment. And with about 100,000 Kenya shillings, you can have good equipment. Of course, you can improvise on some of the things that would be required to build a yogurt business. I will do a downloadable PDF in the description below, which will be able to give you some of the equipment that you would need in order to begin a yogurt business, with links of also which places you can go to and actually start purchasing the equipment that you would need for a yogurt business. It is a good business to begin because all you need to do is test the formula, and then you can be able to refine it and then get to market with it. You will need a KEBS certification, which is a Kenya Bureau of Standards certification. They will come, pick a sample of the yogurt that you have, take it to their labs, and once they certify it, then you're actually allowed to sell it commercially. Then you'll need to do branding of your particular type of yogurt. Do a little marketing on YouTube with your friends and family, and you are on the way. So what you need to do is, once you start selling, make sure that you also reinvest that money back into your business so that it can be able to grow a bit faster. As you sell, you reinvest back into your business, buy more equipment, do better marketing. As you go on like that, your business will surely succeed. So yogurt, we need some yogurt. So the third business is a business for dogs. This is how it begins. You need no experience, no money. All you need is to have dogs. So this is how you do it. You get at least 2 dogs and then get puppies from them, and you need to make sure that you train them if you want to make more money from them, because trained dogs are more expensive than untrained dogs. If you train them, you have the potential of making much more money from them than if you are not trained. So the next thing you need to do is check the particular area where you'll be selling the dogs from. The higher end markets are more profitable per dog because you can sell a dog at a higher markup than if you did it in a middle income area. Then you need to see that the places where you're actually selling them are probably people with their own fences, because in apartments it would be a bit difficult to actually keep dogs. So you go to a place where the owner would have their own fenced house. That way you can be able to get better money from the dogs. The next thing you need to check is the type of dog that you will actually be selling, because there are those which make much more money and there are those which are more common and they will make you less money. So you need to check on the types of dogs that you're actually selling or training so that it will be a bit easier for you to actually make money from the sale of dogs. Business number 4, video game parlor. And it goes without saying that these days children love games. It's not like the old times where we actually just used to go around and play marbles, and it was what were we calling? Oh yes, we used to say crackings no payings. You need to be old in order to have even had that one. But these days most of the children are playing video games, and those who do not have them in their own homes are looking for places where they can actually be playing. And I know even if you charge 10 bob for a game of FIFA, you would probably make some good money, because that game is like 5-10 minutes. So if in an hour you have 5 people who are actually playing, you're making 50 shillings or 100 shillings or even 200 shillings every single hour. In a day, that's about 8 hours or 10 hours, that can be 2,000 shillings. In a month, that is about 60,000 bob. Just from two computers playing computer games. You just need the comps to be a bit fast. Then the games that you're placing them are those that are a bit popular with the children, like football games or first person shooter games. So those are the kind of games that you'd probably have at your video game parlor. One thing that you need to make sure is that you make your games timed, because that is how you'll be able to make much more money, because you'll say that a 10-minute game is this amount, and you keep monitoring, because children are children. The 10 bob they have, to them, is a lot of money. So they will look for ways of playing a bit more and trying to stifle you out from the money that you have actually put into the business. So you need to be very stern with them and make sure that you're picking your money every single moment that they are starting a new game, because they will play a game and they don't have the money, and autajionea, or you will actually see for yourself. So that's a video game business is actually a really good business that you can get into, and it will actually make you a lot of money, because once you go into an estate where there are very many children, after they're done with school, they may first pop by the video game parlor before they go home, or even on weekends they can be there the whole day, probably spend 200, 300 shillings per person, and they would actually make you a lot of money. Business number 5, perfumes. And this is why I think this business can really make you rich, because the Kenyan market at the moment is dominated by foreign multinationals which have come to bring their brands into the country, meaning that there is a very huge demand and a very low supply. So if you get into that business, you can actually make a niche for yourself and actually make millions. Now, this is what you need to do. The first thing that you need to do is find a really good recipe. And you can scour the internet, especially here on YouTube, and you can be able to see how you can make your own brand of perfumes, which you will actually hide the formula that you have, because you do not want it to be replicated out there by your competitors. So you add something special, then you make sure that you test it well so that it does not react with sensitive skin or with people who have allergies for particular minerals. So you make sure that it is mercury free. Of course, it should be lead free. Any other metals should not be in the perfume itself, but you make sure that your brand is super, because you can actually make it for 1 unit and then sell it 5 times what you actually spent to make it, and still be able to underprice the major brands that are there in the market. So you can start small and you can continue to upgrade as you go on. So the perfume business is one that you can get into. I will place some links below that will share some places where you can go to and get a recipe of perfume, so that you can also get into that business as well. I hope this business ideas will get you to start your own business. If you're planning to start any of the businesses that I have mentioned here, please share your experience in the comments below. I'd love to hear a story if you're actually doing this particular business that I have mentioned. Please share below, share your contact with me as well. I'd love to interview you to see what you're actually doing. So I will give you more ideas. There are 2 other videos that I will place right here on other ideas that you can be able to use and start your own business, and I will see you in the next video.